Hello Americans and other friends and subscribers around the world. We're back again. Gonna do our eBay Mountain Junkers series.
Over some morning coffee.
Over some morning coffee down on the creek. Or my office. So we got a few, since I did that last video, a lot going on around here, so I actually haven't got that many. I think I got 4 listings on there. Haven't sold nothing. 4 listings, and then I had 2 that I got kicked off. So, just to show you an example of that. But you can't sell ninja throwing stars on eBay. You know, eBay likes to make their own rules on a lot of stuff. Some things I don't agree, but it's their playground, so they play by their rules. But so we got a list of stuff that we were gonna go over. It is Friday, so we're gonna go make our rounds, and we've got a up the road a rodeo and stuff going on this weekend. So a lot of times when the rodeo's going on, there's some good sales. So we're just gonna go and make our loop and do a kind of a sweep, you know, around the homestead. Yeah, 10 or 20 mile radius around the homestead, just to see if there's any local sales. And then we actually have a couple of good sales up in a couple of mountain towns that we're gonna go hit tomorrow. So we're just gonna do a little bit of that today, and then after we go do those, I'm not awake yet, I'm still asleep. But after we do those today, then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna get at least 10 things on the Mountain Junkers, and then I got a bunch of stuff I got to list on the other, you know, so hopefully we find something new, and if we do, then we'll do another one of the episodes here in the next couple days to show, you know, what I was hoping. You know, hopefully we get some stuff on there, get some selling. You can't fold this book backwards.
You can't? I've seen you twice already.
Yeah, I know. So, man,
let's get to it.
Yeah, I'm just not in the, I'm in a zone. All right, first, you want to sit here and go over these? First, you wrote down shipping.
Yeah.
Is there something when you wrote that?
I should have elaborated on my notes.
So we don't know what we're doing on this video.
Yeah. Well, I guess I could say about shipping. Get your supplies ordered from USPS.com. They got free priority boxes. There's a lot of flat rate boxes that you can choose from, and then just the straight up priority that goes by weight and dimensions. Anything over 13 ounces is no longer first class, so then you have to make the choice if you're going to ship it parcel post or
I thought it was up to 1 pound for first one.
Not retail.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And then regional, you got the regional A boxes.
I use a lot of regional A boxes.
And then you got to keep those, but you can ship stuff.
That's a flat rate depending on the region. It's not the same cost, like say from Idaho to Washington as it is from Idaho to New York, but it's still a flat rate. So
right, and you can do it. You just put 2 pounds, but you can actually ship over 2 pounds.
Right. The cost to ship in that flat rate box is the same cost as to purchase a 2-pound label. So if your item, and it fits inside their box, if that item is 4 pounds, you can ship it for the 2-pound rate. So check out your regional A boxes. There's 2 different shapes on that. And the flat rate, you cannot alter the shape of that box. And each box will say on the back, and you can also read it on their website, of the max weight limit. I think it's 15 pounds in the regional A, if I remember correctly. And you cannot change that shape. It can't bulge. You can't, shorten the box. Those flat rates have to stay the same shape. But the other ones that are based on the weight and the shape, you can shorten them and adjust them a little bit, which is always good to know.
And then the other one is that goes along with the shipping is free shipping or not. We played with the free shipping, and actually this morning on my other account, I sold a pair of, or took an offer on a pair of sandals or Birkenstocks, took an offer and didn't realize that I'd offered free shipping. You know, it's about $10 to ship a pair of sandals, and took the offer, which I accepted it, and it was already accepted. Realized that, so I ended up, because I would have actually counter offered to make up for the $10, but I didn't, you know.
Yeah.
So it is what it is, and we'll make money on them. But the free shipping most of the time, and I'm not really sure why we did it on the sandals, but most of the time on the free shipping, a lot of times I'll look, you know, if it's something that a lot of people are selling, if everybody's offering free shipping and the stuff's selling, because I always, when I compare, I don't compare what's listed, we compare to what's sold.
Right.
You know, if it's a product where there's a bunch of them out there, because we do sell a lot of stuff that there is, you know,
a lot.
well,
of
a lot,
choices.
yeah, a lot of choices, but we sell a lot of stuff that there's not even nothing
Any
like
choices,
it on there.
Right.
There's
Is there
a
birds
cat,
up
a cat's
there?
trying to get
Is it the
in
cat?
the, yeah, the cat's running it. But hey, tst.
She's up on our roof. You can hear her, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
I'm going to get. But other than that, most of the time on the free shipping, unless we can ship it first class
Or in a flat rate box.
or in a flat rate box, then we won't
Then we
offer
know
free. Yeah,
that way
won't
we know
offer free
exactly what the
shipping.
shipping cost will be.
Right, and we know it's not going to be
adjust
much.
it into our price,
Yeah.
and
No, it's not going to be much. So, you know, you got to just kind of play with it, make your own decision on the if you offer free shipping or not. So that touches that. Some of the stuff's questions that we had that people asked and stuff like that. The initial funds being held when you start a brand new account, they'll hold your funds until for so many, I can't remember what the period is, but for so many days or until that person leaves a feedback. They hold your funds now at eBay when you start a new account. You'll get it. I think they do release. That cat is driving you nuts.
Yep. Yeah, the best thing to do when you're starting a new account is when you sell an item, ship it right away, just as quick as you can. And
There, I got her out of there now.
yeah, I think
Almost
you
took
scared
my
her.
window out today. So,
Okay, get the item out right away.
yeah.
Get
We
it.
just let her out. She had kittens. We have, so I went from 1 cat to 8. But they're cute little mothers. All right.
So get it shipped out right away. That way they get it quickly. Upload your tracking information. That's really, really important. Make sure that if you're not going to use the eBay labeling system to purchase your label or the PayPal labeling system to purchase your label, that if if you take it to the post office to purchase your label, get a tracking number, upload it onto your item, and as soon as they get it, that tracking number will post to your account that it has been delivered, that they've received it. And if they leave feedback right away, that speeds up the process just a little bit. But it's usually, I think, 48 hours after that delivery confirmation has been posted on the eBay item that your funds will be released in PayPal.
Oh, also
Yeah, and one of the biggest concerns that we've experienced helping people start is, well, if they're going to hold my funds, how am I going to purchase the shipping label? Through the eBay label purchasing system, they will allow you to purchase the label and not pay for it until those funds are released.
What I was gonna say.
You can't do that through PayPal, only through eBay, so you have to have a printer.
Yeah. And then, yeah. And you definitely want to get your own printer. It's so much
Yes.
nicer to do all your stuff
Yes,
yourself.
and you'll receive a little bit of a discount on your labels by purchasing them at home and printing them and taking them on, versus going to the post office and purchasing there.
And then, man, what we did back before we had, remember they, in the bigger metropolitan areas and stuff like that, I mean, they got night drops, and then they actually have those machines. Remember we went
The
to
kiosk,
the machine?
yeah.
We used to sit there and take that thing over, man, do one after another. That
Yeah.
was when we didn't have a
Yeah.
printer. So, I mean, you don't have to have a printer to get started, but it's definitely something you want to do. And as you roll along, as soon as you can, get yourself the PayPal card, because, man, it makes it so much nicer because it takes 3 days to get your money transferred. Ours does it now in about 24 hours. But at first it takes about 3 days to transfer it from PayPal to your bank account. But then if you have the PayPal card, to get cash it costs you, but it's $1 for PayPal and then whatever the ATM fee is. But once you have that card, but you can just use that card, you know,
to make purchases.
debit card, right?
Credit, debit card, yeah.
And you can get cash back at Walmart and grocery stores. So that kind of touched that. Initial funds being held. Oh, no returns accepted. On our stuff, you know, depending on what kind of stuff you're selling, you know, if you're selling new stuff and clothes and all that, we put on our listings no returns accepted, and I do a little disclaimer thing too on stuff. But the no returns accepted is most of the time because we have so many, you know, one-of-a-kind type items, or very rare items, and they're old, they come out of barns, you know, there's this and that and all this stuff. And so, man, I make sure in the description, which we'll go over here in a minute, make sure, you know, you do an accurate description. And then we also have a note in ours that says to look at our pictures, because we use our pictures as part of our description, and to ask any questions, and being sold as is. And you make sure you want to put that it's being sold as is, because it'll save your hindquarters. But saying no returns accepted, having that said, it doesn't mean crap, because if a person opens, I just had to do it the other day. I mean, if a person, we don't argue the point, you know, we just, you know, most of the time just accept the returns. It's all part of business. But we've had some issues, especially with electronics. One of the reasons I don't like selling electronics and stuff like that is because people, you know, fry it or steal parts out of it and then ship it back. So there's the no returns accepted. eBay selling manager.
So when you open up your selling account, it, of course, just like with anything, you're on eBay, you've been there for years buying, and then you open up a selling account and all of a sudden your screen looks different. And there's I mean, I don't know if it's just because we've been doing it for so long that when I see that basic screen, it's
drives me
it drives me batty, because there's not enough tools. You can't really navigate through it easily. But there are options. If you just type into Google, I think would probably be the quickest way to find the link, eBay selling manager.
And it's free.
It's free. So if you find a page and you think that's what I was talking about and it's trying to charge you, that's not it. It's a free subscription, and it will give you options to print invoices, and the layout is a lot more user-friendly. You can see things a lot better.
It's great. Man, it's a lot like, see, now on our main account, the Idaho Hillbilly account, we actually pay, I think, $15 a month for the mediocre one. We used to get the one, what was that one?
49,
40, yeah, or something. Remember. But it didn't, for us, it didn't offer enough, so we went back down to the $15 a month option. But you don't want to do that getting started. No. And as we go along with this account, as it builds, once I get to the point, or we get to the point that it's built up, then we will get that, pay that $15 a month selling manager, because the part that we really like about that is that's how you can do sales, markdown manager, and all this. You get all these tools, you know, that you can do. But to start off, I would just recommend getting the eBay selling manager for free.
Right.
And it's so much easier to handle, and the relists, or everything's just, it's so much easier. All right, so then we got on ours, and I recommend we do on handling time for shipping. We do a 3-day handling time. We try to do next day shipping, which it don't always work out. You know, just like this morning, we sold a couple of things, and you know, we got to go do these sales, and then we go on the list. Miss Kitty will probably end up getting those packed up, and they'll get taken down this afternoon. But if we were out yard selling, you know, full on, if we were down the flatlands and then came up and then was going back out yard selling tomorrow, up here, our in the town, our post office is only open and only accepts packages for 1 hour on Saturday. So we do the 3-day handling time because of that. And then if we end up taking a road trip or something like that, you know, get all caught up, and I mean, that gives us 3 days, which we can always call and have our daughter
come and
yeah, she'll
help
come
us.
and take care of it and stuff like that. But you know, so the 3-day handling we try to do over, you know, the next day, but the 3-day just gives you a little buffer. Next would be the auction versus buy it now, and number one on that is to research it. You know, definitely research whatever item you have to see, because on a buy it now, you're going to get, you know, the price that you want for it, or you do, because I like buy it now or best offer. You know, some people don't like the best offer. I do. Sometimes you get, especially when, and I've noticed with these newer accounts.
Has it always been that way?
No, and that's because Miss Kitty, here comes Red, I can hear that old truck.
Yeah.
So Miss Kitty, what makes so loud, man? Miss Kitty tried to get me to do the buy it nows all the time. Kai, get over here.
Good boy.
Yeah. But we'll get him out there. Go sick him.
Okay.
But Miss Kitty tried to get me to do the buy it. Get out, man.
I know.
In the creek.
Yep, in the camera.
To do the buy it now for a long time, and man, I just did not.
Get him.
You know, just did not like it. And then I started playing with it with the best offer. And, you know, like I've said before, man, I've been buying and selling stuff since I was 15 years old at flea markets and stuff like that. And to me, the buy it now, and best offer is a lot like wheeling and dealing at the, you know, at the swap meet or the antique show. And of course, just like it, you know, I mean, I've told people to get the heck out of my booth before because they've offered me just, you know, ridiculous prices. So that happens, and I've noticed with like my daughter's account and another account that we're helping somebody with, that the buy it nows, man, people tend to lowball, and I think it's other resellers out there, you know, lowballing this the newbie to try to take advantage of them. And you know, if I've got something, I just did it a couple of days ago, man. I had something on there for $74.95, and they offered me like $10. So instead of, and yeah, it irritated me. So instead of you know, just declining it, I put $75.94 and counter offered, and then they declined it. So, so that's just something you got to deal with. But you want to do your research on the item, because a lot of the one-of-a-kind type stuff or rare stuff that we get, if I'm pretty sure it's going to be desired, I'll run it as an auction first. But I still started off at the same price that I would do a buy it now. You know, unless I was going to do a best offer, then I might play with the price a little bit.
So if you're going to list it as an auction, start the price out.
And what you'd take for it. Your low dollar, what you'd take for it, you know, and then see where it goes from there. Because, I mean, that's how we ended up, you know, getting $900 for a pair of boots that I would have took $100 for. You know, you just never, some of that stuff you just never know.
Right.
All right, so touch that. Done the free shipping. Oh, and then, okay, like I was saying, we have a disclaimer at the end of, and I don't put it on every item, because I think when you put the sold as is, especially if it's like a new item or, you know, something that's really nice, you know, or a glass item, if you put as is, the guy's going, hey, what's the, you know, why is he putting as is? I've actually had a customer, a couple of them, ask us, why does this say as is? So you got to watch that as is thing, because it does protect you, but it could also hurt you.
Right.
But if you get on, you know, the Mountain Junkers, and you see the little disclaimer thing that I wrote up, and feel free to copy and paste and use it. And you know, and
I along with that, I really don't think that there's any eBay sellers out there that get annoyed when somebody else uses their word. So don't feel bad about using somebody else's word.
Copy,
I don't think we don't. I don't
no,
think
if I sell
really get.
If I sell similar, that bell thing, man, it's driving me.
Everything's driving me
the cats, the dog.
Yeah. There we go.
Dude, man, I just need to go back to bed. I got cats digging in my top of my roof. I got dogs running around. People were asking me last time what that jingle bells was. What, you're not in trouble, man? You just got to, whoa, stay down.
Yeah, he's muddy wet.
Yeah, now he's been down in the creek.
No,
so now, but anyway, yeah, and on that, sometimes, you know, and I do it too, is when you find something that's identical to what you're selling, is I'll do a copy paste, you know, and maybe use their description, or especially, man, when it's got the, you know, the actual weights and the, you know, just everything down, instead of me having to go through and write all that, I'll copy paste it, and then of course I change wording and stuff around. But so don't feel bad about that, but man, feel free to use my little disclaimer that I wrote up, because man, it really
I think it helps.
yeah, and it covers your you know, covers your hindquarters, plus it, you know, and it straight up tells them, you know, that to look at the pictures, you know, read the description. We do the best we can in our description, and ask questions and all that. All right, so then we got keywords and title.
It's really important, not just for selling your item, but doing your research also to find how you should price it, using those keywords. Do you have any?
Oh yeah, good
tips?
Like a keyword, you know, because I sell lots of knives and fishing stuff. But a keyword, you know, if I look up a knife, say I'm looking for a fixed blade knife, or I'm looking for a pocket knife, you know, when you list your knife or whatever it is you're listing, the keywords would be folding pocket knife if it's a folding knife, a fixed blade knife if it was a straight knife. You know, if you were going to list a watch, a pocket watch, you don't want to just put watch, you know, you want to make sure and put pocket watch. So little keywords like that. I don't watch a ton of them, you know, I still watch a few shows, but a while back I was watching one and somebody was saying how they didn't think keywords in your title mattered.
What?
You know? Yeah.
Well,
just the name.
That's the only way somebody's going to find your
And I was
item.
like, wow, I can't even believe they just said that. But,
so this is an example. Do this yourself and try it. Put the word knife in to the search and pull up how many listings you get, and then put
steak
in
knives, you know, kitchen knives, everything,
and then put in pocket knife at that word pocket, and then you get fewer results. And then you put in maybe Boker for the hi, don't shake the camera. And then you'll see your search just start to narrow, and then you can compare if you've got your keywords in there so that the person looking for your item will find it.
Right. It's just like if you were looking for an oil lamp, you know, if you put lamp or light in, you know, without the oil lamp or, you know, whatever, you're gonna find them, man, but it's gonna take you 3 days. So you definitely want keywords. I don't know why anybody would ever say that.
You get a customer with cash in their pocket wanting to buy, you want them to find your item as fast as possible.
Right, exactly. And you want the keywords to bring them right to you, you know. And then, yeah, I think that's about it on that, yeah. And then the last thing I have on this list is when you're doing an auction, should you do a, you know, a 3-day, a 5-day, or 7-day, or a 10-day? I can't remember. They charge you more for. I think for the 3 days they start. I used to do 1 days on my knives.
Yes, 24
You know,
hours.
yeah, because I'd just turn them that fast, you know. But then they start charging $1. Man, that's such a that's, you know, that's greed right there. But anyway, so now on an auction you've got a 5-day, you know, I use either a 5-day, a 7-day, and sometimes a 10-day if it's something that I want to, you know, stretch out a little bit longer. What makes me decide on the 5-day and 7-day is I always shoot for Sunday night. You know, that's one of our best, you know, one of your best selling nights. Sometimes, you know, I mean, there really is no facts to it. You know, when I first got in this, Sunday night was the night, because Mike Mooney always, you know, I had a buddy who's passed away now. I've been losing a lot of them lately. But Mike was one of the first ones. He was the ones that kept telling me, and you know, to get into eBay. Actually, Mike's probably the reason we did get into eBay, because he quit doing we did flea markets together for 15, 20 years, and then he just stopped doing that, and I'd go see him. He worked at a little antique shop that he had stuff in, and I'd go in and see him and stuff, and I was, man, what are you doing? He's all, you got to get on eBay, man. So anyway, but he always, everything that he had, and man, he had hundreds of items, and everything he had ended on Sunday night. Always. He always made sure everything ended on Sunday night. And I still believe Sunday night, because we do,
Yeah.
you know, Sunday night's one of our busiest nights. But, you know, you watch the little thing on sales, it really don't know. It just depends on what you got,
Yeah.
man. If you've got the right thing and somebody wants it, you know, it's going to sell. It don't matter really when it, you know, when it ends. But I do use 5 days and 7 days are the two I use the most. So I shoot for, like I said, Sunday nights. What else you got, Miss Kitty?
I think
That
that's
takes
it.
care of them notes.
So.
You know, so this one's probably, you know, especially for the folks that are looking for the homesteading thing, this is kind of a slow and, you know, not so exciting video. But well, we're just trying to get the facts going here. Hopefully we'll get, you know, get this thing up and going with sales, because then we'll start showing, you know, the items that we've sold on there, you know, start showing them, and I'll start showing the ones that I'm going to list and stuff. We're going to try to do something on this, on the Mountain Junkers thing once a week, and then if it really picks up, then we'll do it a couple times a week. But so we're going to go out and try to find some treasures to put on there, and today and tomorrow. I got to find stuff to put on my other one too, man. Got to keep the candles burning at both ends. So good Lord willing, the creeks don't rise. We'll be back again real soon.